Hi Sagittarius, welcome to February. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And before I start your reading, I'm going to call in some good energy. So this month we have Venus moving into Aquarius on February 2nd. Then we have a new moon in Aquarius, and that's going to be on February 11th. Then Mercury will go direct on the 21st. And then Venus will move from Aquarius into Pisces on the 26th. And then we have a full moon in Virgo on the 27th. So, but in the meantime, this month we're having a lot of planets, stellium in Aquarius this month. And Aquarius is favorable to your sign. So, and I think that's going to be falling in your third house of communication and siblings. So that should be the focus for this month, and we'll get into the astrology later. But let's see what Sag needs to know about love and relationships for February 2021. What is coming up for Sag in terms of love and relationships for February 2021? What does Sag need to know about relationships February 2021? What does Sag need to know? Okay, so we have the Devil, the King of Pentacles, the Empress, the Two of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, the Ten of Wands, the Page of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the Nine of Swords, and the card at the bottom, the Death card. So let's see. So you're starting the month off with the Devil crossed by the King of Pentacles. The Devil card energy in a relationship situation, it could mean passion, desire, physical attraction, a strong chemistry, strong feelings in a relationship where you feel you're like really bonded to someone and it's hard to break free. You feel like compelled to be together. And for some of you, it may be that you're attracted to someone who has a drinking or drug problem, or you're addicted. It's like an addictive type of relationship. But most of the time, and then sometimes it could even be fear. The Devil can represent fear of intimacy, fear of getting overwhelmed by a relationship. Now, crossing you have the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is really down-to-earth energy. So some of you might be dealing with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And if that's true, there's like strong feelings between you. And the King of Pentacles could also mean someone who, even if it's not the sign, it's someone who's very down to earth, very practical, very grounded. Someone who cares a lot about home and family. He may not be the most exciting person, he or she, but they're stable and reliable. He cares about financial security. Money and material things make him feel safe, make him feel secure. He or she. The court cards could be either sex. But that's the energy of the King of Pentacles. So it could be that you're looking for security in a relationship, or you're wanting to connect with someone that can offer you that down-to-earth energy, that you have the Empress here. The Empress is about family and motherhood, and also it's about birth, giving birth to something. So for some of you, you might be concerned with home and family, wanting to create that kind of environment, wanting to, you've been really focused on, or it could be, you've been focused on your family. Maybe some of you want to have a family, give birth to a child. The Empress can also represent creative projects. Like you might not be giving birth to a person, but it might be an idea or a project or something that you need to nurture. So it could be the beginning of a relationship that needs a lot of nurturing. And the Two of Pentacles is in the recent past. So you might be juggling a lot of projects. I feel like you're overwhelmed in February, but you're about to put your burden down. And for some of you, with the Eight of Cups here, you could be thinking of walking away from something that was once good but is no longer fulfilling. Especially since you have the Death card here, which is a card of one cycle ending and a new cycle beginning. And you might be in the process of clearing out what's no longer working to prepare for this new energy coming in. I feel like you've been spending a lot of time, I don't know, the feeling I'm getting is that you might be wanting to walk away from something and walk towards something that's more fulfilling and gives you a sense of more security, even though, because maybe a relationship has become a burden and you've been working really hard with this Ten of Wands coming up in the future. This is about hard work, carrying a heavy burden. Maybe the relationship, you've been putting a lot of work and energy into a relationship and it just feels like very burdensome, very heavy. And you're thinking about moving on to something else. You're open to the new. You might have been dealing with someone who, because I'm seeing the Emperor here and the Nine of Swords, and also the Page of Swords here, which is on the staff. You're doing a lot of, the Page of Swords it's about communication. It's also about checking into things. It's about having a difficult conversation with someone. And the Nine of Swords is about worry. Your mind is working overtime. So I feel like some of you might be in a relationship where you've been doing all the work, or you're taking care of someone who is not pulling their weight. Someone who's very dependent. Someone who is depending on you to do everything. And maybe you're just tired with the Ten of Wands. You know, you're like, I'm doing all the work, I'm carrying all the responsibility. And I feel like this King of Pentacles is a wish fulfillment. Like you're wanting someone like the King of Pentacles. You're wanting someone who is more of a take charge person. Someone you could depend on, someone who could provide for you financially. You know, can be an equal partner in the finances. Instead of you doing all the work, I feel like you might be moving away from someone. This might be a message just for some people. Moving away from someone that has been too dependent upon you. And it's hard for you to break free because you feel guilty. Like you feel like, well, if I leave this person, what's going to happen to them? Because they're really dependent on me. I don't know if they can function without me. But I'm tired of doing all the work for them. I'm tired of, being the one in charge. And I'd like to be able to put that burden down and enjoy life, So you have this Page of Pentacles in your environment. This is a card of the student. So it could even be, and being open to the new. In this reading, I'm feeling, it could also mean like a new relationship that's on the horizon. If it doesn't mean a child, for some of you, it could be a child that you're dealing with. But if it's a relationship, it could be someone new that you're really checking into before you make this decision. Because the Page of Swords can mean checking into something, checking into the details. Like sometimes it can mean spying or gossip. Maybe you're checking the person out, trying to hear, like asking people about the person, wanting to know more about them. Maybe you're not trusting that they're as reliable as they come across, and you're just being cautious. But with this, and the Emperor is in your wish fulfillment sector. So you're wanting someone like the Emperor, and the Emperor energy is someone who's take charge person. It's a CEO or a boss or someone who's very organized, someone you can depend on. And I think that's what you're looking for. You're looking for something solid and steady and stable, even if it's not as exciting. A lot of times we get into relationships that are really a lot of fun and exciting, but the person's not that reliable. We can't count on them. I think now you're tired of that old, the old pattern. You're wanting something new. You're wanting something that's more solid and steady, and that's offering you more a sense of security. That's taking some of the burden off your shoulders. So you might be thinking of walking away. If you're involved with someone that's kind of irresponsible or kind of dependent, not really someone someone who's not stepping up to the plate and taking responsibility and sharing the responsibility with you. Some of you who are in that type of situation might be wanting to walk away from it and walking towards something, looking for something that's more solid, more steady. In other situations, it could be that you're thinking about starting a business, because the King of Pentacles can sometimes represent someone who deals with money, like a bank, like going to someone for a loan, for some financial support. You might be giving birth to a new business idea, and you might need to talk to someone about the finances, because you want to be more of the you want to tap into this Emperor energy. You want to be the boss of your own world. You're tired of working hard for other people. So there could be that too. That energy is at play. Let's see what the astrology has to say. So this new moon is happening in your third house. All this Aquarian energy. You've got Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn all in the third house. So the third house is the house of communication, your local area, neighborhood. It's also the house of siblings and relatives, like in immediate relatives, your immediate family, like aunts, uncles, cousins. So that's where your focus is this month. And there could be a new beginning in that area, a new relationship with your siblings. It's also a possibility that you're starting a new project that involves communication, that involves, marketing, the internet. Because those are all third house, writing, even storytelling. So those are all third house topics. And Venus and Jupiter are there, plus Mercury. So you might be revisiting an idea that you had put on the shelf a while ago, and you're pulling it back down. And it may involve writing or communicating in some way. Venus and Jupiter are there, so it's bringing in, you may have an idea that can bring in money and bring in opportunity. Something that maybe involves teaching or art. Saturn is there as well, so you might be butting heads with relatives. Like you may have an idea, like I want to do this, and your relatives are like, no, that won't work, or they're very conservative, and you feel like they don't understand where you're coming from, they're not supporting your ideas. Or you may feel authority figures are not supporting whatever you're wanting to do. Now this new moon is not a bad new moon. It's got a lot of positive things, except for the square to Mars. Uranus is not so much an issue because it's only at 7 degrees, and the moon is at 23 degrees, so it's kind of out of orb. But Mars is at 18 degrees Taurus, and it's squaring this moon. And Mars is in the 6th house of your chart. So there could be that you're working really hard at work, and it's hard for you to implement these new ideas because you got too many. You're carrying too much, you're doing too much work, you just don't have the time. So you're having to juggle your work responsibilities with this new idea that's coming up, or this new beginning. It could be a relationship, it could be a business idea, any one of those things. But it's in conflict because Mars is a square, so it creates tension. So there's tension between the work, your work environment, and this new project, this new beginning that's coming. That's this, you have this new opportunity. Venus is going to move from, Mercury's retrograde this whole time, and Mercury is in your third house. So and the third house is the house of contracts. So you have to be really careful if you're signing any contracts during this time. That you read the fine print, that you check all the details, because there might be, it might be a good time to go back and review your plans, rather than to launch anything at this time. If you're thinking about launching something, I would wait till Mercury goes direct. I wouldn't be launching during a retrograde period, although, if you have to do it, you have to do it, but just be careful, just check all the details. Make sure whatever you're signing up for, or whoever you're partnering with, can be trusted, that that there's no miscommunication between what you're signing up for and what you're going to receive. The full moon is happening in Virgo, and that's in your 10th house. And then you have the Sun and Venus in your 4th house, at this full moon. Now this full moon is a good full moon for you because it's angular, number one. So that something is coming to completion in your career sector, your 10th house. So you could be completing a project, getting recognition for a project. There could also be a change in status. Sometimes in a relation, and on the 10th house could be career, a change in status in terms of career, but it could also be in terms of relationship. So you could go from single to married, married to single. So some of you, if you're leaving a relationship, that could be a change in direction in your life. It could also be a change in your direction in your career. And you might decide to start a business from your home even, because Venus is there. Venus is going through your 4th house at this point. At this full moon, Venus has moved out of Aquarius. So it's moved away from the 3rd house, and it's now traveling through your 4th house. So by the end of the month, you could be thinking, how can I make my home more attractive? How can I feather my nest? So you might be working on beautifying your home. Now, at this point, now that all the energy has shifted to Pisces and Virgo, Virgo and Pisces are favorable to Mercury, to Uranus and Mars in your 6th house. So things should be better in your work environment. There could be some surprise developments at work that are supportive to your plans. So something is coming to completion in a work situation or even a health situation, because the 6th house has to do with health. So something that you've been working hard for is finally like here. You've completed it. You're getting your recognition. The full moon shines a light on things. So, you're going to be seen. You're going to be in the public eye. The 10th house has to do with public. Things becoming public, going public. I feel at this point, so if you're about to create a partnership or develop anything, wait till the end of the month. I think at this full moon is more favorable than during the Mercury retrograde period, because you'll have Jupiter then trining the North Node in your 7th house, and so it's like it's a luckier time for you to be branching out or advancing in some type of communication project, and it's putting you on a path. Whatever relationships you're forming at this full moon are getting you on the right path. I feel like you're leaving something behind that wasn't really working or was too much of a burden, and you're moving towards something that's really a labor of love. And especially with this Empress here, this is like your baby. If it's not a physical baby, for some of you it might be wanting to have a child, create a family. But if it could be a baby as in a project or an idea that you have that you're nurturing and you're bringing into fruition. So you might see some results at the full moon, or you might get additional knowledge that lets you know that you're on the right path. In any case, it even could have something to do with, I think that also with Venus in the 4th house, it not only rules decorating and making your home, more beautiful or more comfortable. It also, you'll be getting along better with the people that you live with. So if you've had any arguments or any, misunderstandings during the Mercury retrograde, you might be able to work them out now, and there's more peace at home. There's a more harmonious home environment. So whether you do it yourself by painting and decorating and making yourself feel more comfortable, or whether and it might be both. You're getting along better with the people you share your home with. One thing you have to let go of anything that's draining your energy, that's not pulling its own weight. Stop, doing things for people that they can be doing for themselves. And don't feel guilty about it. If you need to walk away from something that's not working, don't let guilt stop you. Because I feel with the 9 of Swords, sometimes there's guilt involved. You're just worried, like, well, what are they going to do without me? And you have this guilt. You have to focus on the Empress and focus on, creating security for yourself and nurturing, giving birth to that inner child, taking care of your inner child, giving birth to that dream project, doing work that really fulfills you, that inspires you. The 8 of Cups is about doing work that is not only just a material thing. It's also something that you feel like is part of your spiritual path. like I was called to do this work and I need to do it, and it's fulfilling me on the soul level. It's not just a job, or it's not just a relationship. You need to break free from something with the devil. The devil, something has its chains into you, and you need to break free so that you can fulfill yourself, so you can be fulfilled and get on the right path and be your best self. And you're going to have an opportunity to do that this month, especially if you have something to say to people. It's a good time to communicate your needs. With the Page of Swords, you want to choose your words carefully. So if there's some issue that you need to work out, that you need to communicate, don't let it fester under the surface. Get it out in the open. Talk about it. Clear up any misunderstandings. And then you could get on the right path. You could clear up a lot of misunderstandings and create a more harmonious life for yourself. So that's my forecast, Sag, for February. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button. If you'd like a private reading, click on the link in the description box. It'll take you to my website, and we can get you on the schedule. In the meantime, I want to say thank you, everyone, for supporting this channel. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting. I love to read all the comments. If this resonated with you, please leave me a comment. I love to read them. And if you're new, welcome. I hope you're enjoying the videos. And have a wonderful February. Have a happy Valentine's Day. And move on to move on to your dream situation. Don't let people drain you. Put the energy toward achieving a goal or a dream that really means a lot to you. And have a wonderful February, and I'll talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.